Well, it wasn't quite that this morning. Yesterday it was. And couldn't see the pumpkins actually for a while. So, Ron, how's everything there in Reno?
Well, let's see. Things are going fine. I got most all the chores all done here around the house. I'm got the big hip replacement coming Tuesday, so yeah, it'll be good to get that done, and I will be in a month. I'll be good for 100,000 miles. Radios are all working, so life is good.
Sure sounds like it. And U6F, W6AQU. Huh? Hi, Gully. We had rain a day or so ago. There's rain promised for tomorrow. But I can't see. Well, I got visibility for about 2 miles, and that's about it. So there may be some high humidity here. So that's the whole story from over here. 100,000 miles on something. I didn't quite get that. Do you want to elaborate, over?
Well, let's see. I got one. I got the one new hip on the right leg 2 years ago, and he said it was a 50,000 mile guarantee on it. I figure now with when the other hip gets replaced, why, I guess I'm good for 100K. Let's see. Oh, the big news over here at my brother's place is we've been working on that M37 Dodge Power Wagon of his. I think it came out of the Sierra Army Depot years ago, and it was sitting out in someone's yard in Carson City. So I think it was back in May he bought it, and so yeah, we finally fired it off. Made smoke. All cylinders were running, and everything that could leak did leak, but that's okay. At least it runs. So Larry's on cloud 9.
Oh, I guess good for Larry. At M47, I think you said. Gee whiz. There must have been a lot of excitement there to light that off. Ay, golly. Next thing you know, he'll be running around town. Does he plan to license it?
Yeah, I don't think we got, he's not planning on that. I think they do make it pretty easy. There's I can't remember what they call it, but they got a special class of license you don't have, because it doesn't have title to it, just got a bill of sale, and, yeah, it's like the 3/4 ton, or it's a 1 ton Dodge, the Flathead 6, weapons carrier / ambulance / radio truck, olive drab, rusty, crusty, but it was up there in a pretty dry location, so there really isn't, all the rust is pretty much just surface stuff. It wasn't, there's not much body work, there's no body work at all to do, other than just if you want to paint it. But yeah, wiring and hoses on the other hand, yeah, everything's pretty rusty, crusty. But yeah, so it was getting pretty discouraged the last month or two, and then finally when we had some time on it, redid all the ignition, and no timing marks on it. It was just one hurdle after another. But yeah, all the cylinders are good. Runs. It's going to take. Now we're into the fuel situation. Find leaking hoses and bits and pieces. So yeah, I got to do a lot of replumbing, but that's okay. The major part is it'll work. And it's a lot dirtier to work on than a 1950s radio, that's for sure. All right, I'll stand by. We're getting close to the time. W6AQU and U6F.
Roger. Very good. W6 Able, Queen, Uncle.
K0 DWC.
There's one from Dayton. Good morning, Chuck.
Well, good morning to both of you. I'm sitting here listening. How am I coming in?
Well, I'm the furthest, so I guess that's the report you want. Your audio sounds muffled, but that must be that favorite microphone, huh?
Okay, does that sound any better?
No.
Gotta take that sock out of his mouth.
Yeah, I usually put the sock over my microphone, but he probably put it in his mouth then, huh?
There I am again. Is it any better?
That was worse.
Famous line from No Time for Sergeants, Andy Griffith. Well, when Pa's radio goes bad, he just spits in the back and whomps at one.
Take the one that Carl has got.
Does this sound any better? Over?
Yes, but your audio's way down.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'm talking closer to the microphone now. It's further away, but am I any louder or not?
Well, you know, that will work. As long as we don't have a bunch of QRM and noise, that'll work. You're only 50% modulation, but it's pretty clean.
Okay, well, this is... I resurrected this BC-191, and that's what I'm using right now. It's I'm running about 75 watts with zero reflected power, and I haven't run this rig in over 10 years, so I'm just kind of trying to figure out what might be the best combo as far as the microphone goes.
Well, that partly explained it. But are you going to be net control this morning? You should maybe change rigs.
No, Henry's net control this morning.
Well, you got a project there, Chuck. So anyhow, that's how it is. W6AQU.
Okay, I'll maybe tune up another rig then, so if you hear any noise, it'll be me.
K0 DWC from KD6TKX, sounding good at Curry Mountain.
Andy, was that you?
Yep, just want to say good morning and let you know you're loud and clear here at Curry Mountain.
I just tested 3 microphones. I got a report from Bob, but right now I'm just running a standard carbon microphone. I tried the T32 with the electret module. I don't know if you heard that one or not.
Nope, I just tuned in. So just hearing this one, but for that's a BC-191, it sounds good here.
Okay, let me switch over to my T32 and give me a report on that one. Stand by for just a second.
Good morning,
Sure thing.
Andy.
Good morning, Bob.
160 meter frequency. I say again, this is W6AQU, and what is the 160 meter frequency?
160, or do you mean 630?
He meant 160 meters.
1925 is where a lot of people operate, but I think 1945 might be an alternate as well.
Well, good morning, Andy, W7MS.
Hi, Mike. How's my copy?
You're making it, and I think you're on something special, and good morning to whoever's on frequency. I just flipped off the demi load, but got your text this morning, so my apologies, but them's the breaks.
Story of my life.
CD6PKX 30DWC, how's this sound, Andy?
So that sounds a little muffled. Not as good as the one before as far as clarity.
Sounds crappy, Chuck.
Okay, I'm back to the hand mic again. Does that sound any better at all?
I think for a 191 it sounds okay.
No FMing or anything that you can detect?
Nope, listening on the BC 348, so very kind in that respect, but like I said, to me it sounds pretty good for a 191.
Well, my apologies, Chuck. Congratulations.
Good morning, Mike. Good morning to Bill. Good morning to Dave and Ron and Bob. Andy and Mike. Good morning, guys. I've just put this setup back together after 10 years. I haven't run it since I've moved down here. So I'm running the BC 191 and the BC 312 on dynamotor. So that's why I'm wanting to get signal. Over.
No, it sounds great for a 191. My apologies, and you took those precious tubes out of the safe, so congratulations.
Yeah, it was a bit of a gut punch. I was sweating BBs, but I did it anyway. I couldn't see this nice rig just sitting here doing nothing. It's already been doing that for 10 years, so it's all cleaned up, back and running again. So anyway, I might go ahead and switch rigs. I just wanted to get an audio report from you guys. Thank you.
It's great to hear it. Congratulations.
Hey Chuck, how are you powering your 191?
Got an RA34F rectifier power supply. 1942.
That's a nice thing to have.
Yeah, it's the early one. It's got two big meters in it. I got it from Cliff Kurtz about 15 years ago. He had it, and I went over there and got it. And this thing is really something. Weighs a ton, but man, I tell you what, the stability, you can't beat it.
Stability. Maybe I should get one of those.
I swear these things are bulletproof, man. I don't know. Never had a minute's problem out of it. But the BC 312 I've got running right now, it's on a dynamo. It's running nice and fine. Anyway, that's kind of where I'm at here. It's a lot of fun to resurrect this rig.
Well, Andy, are you preheating the TDW?
Let me go ahead and jump in here, and we'll go ahead and get the net started. Sounds like we got a lot of activity on. Boy, am I down in frequency. Stand by. That's a little closer. Okay. Good morning. This is the Vintage Military Radio Net. I'll be your net control today. Henry in Dayton, WA7 YBS. And so this is the pre-net warm-up period where you check in and get on the list. I already got a list, although I've only heard a few. In the number 1 spot is Mike. This is just the order I heard to you guys, so, it isn't usual. Normally I hear Ron first, but at any rate, this is the order in which I heard stations. Number 1 is W7MS. Good morning, Mike. Number 2 is Andy, KD6TKX. Good morning, Andy. Number 3 is Chuck, K0DWC. Morning, Chuck. Number 4 is Bill, N6BCT. Good morning, Bill. And I haven't heard, although I've heard that Dave is here. So in the number 5 spot, I got W6MQI. Good morning, Dave. In the number 6 spot, also not heard, but reported their presence, is Bob, W68QU. Good morning, Bob. And number 7 is Ron, NU6F, who I haven't heard yet either. So let's see if there's anybody else. Number 8 is open if you want to check into the Vintage Military Radio Net. Get in on the first round. Go ahead now.
W6 SSP.
Kilo Echo 6, Quebec, Kilo.
Okay, and the number 8 spot is Steve, W6SSP. Good morning, Steve. Good signal. And from Fallon, number 9 is Rich, KE6QK. Good signal out of Fallon from Rich. And good morning to you. Number 10 is open if somebody wants to check in here in the pre-net check-in period. Well, number 10 is open. Check in now. Okay, let's run down the list again, and then we'll get started. Well, first, let's see, 35 degrees this morning, rain last night, clear now, or partly cloudy anyway. We're on the W6MIT Big Rig homebrew from 1998. Transmitter, 4-250A, 2,000 volts on the plate, as modulated by 572Bs, 1,500 volts on the plate, 300 watts output to a inverted V, 130 foot, fed with, some feed line of open line. I think it's 44 feet that I used. And the receiver is the Raycal RA6117A, the made in USA Raycal receiver. This is a version of the USA version of the British RA117 Raycal receiver. So that's the rundown of the equipment and the weather. So let me run down the list real quick. In the number 1 spot is W7MS, 2 KD6 TKX, 3 K0DWC, 4 N6 BCT, number 5 W6MQI, number 6 W6AQU, number 7 NU6F, number 8 W6 SSP, number 9 KE6QK, and Rich, turn it back to me, Henry and Dayton, WA7 YBS. So up to number 1, Mike, W7MS. Go ahead.
Well, okay, good morning all. And to all a good morning again. WA7YBS in the Sunday morning Vintage Military Net, W7MS, Mike and Reno, make it official. And great to hear Chuck's 191, and again, I'm deeply embarrassed by my comments. I figured he was maybe on the ART-13, and from an audio standpoint, that was not good, but from a 191 and the microphone change, he's doing exceptionally well. So glad to hear that old-timer on the airwaves this morning. So good morning, to Curry Mountain, Chuck, Dave, Bob, Ron, Steve, and Rich and Fallon. So good group here this morning. Turned on the Lazy Man stuff that I've been operating the last few times I've been on AM, and that's the Collins 30K5. Listening on the Rockwell Collins 851S1, microphones and amplified D104. And the antenna's the usual antenna, so that's the setup this morning. The big rig's doing well, and hopefully I'm doing as well on the receive end on the 6117A, courtesy of North America. So over to Andy. What are you running this morning, Andy? KD6TKX, W7MS.
W7MS and the Military Radio Group. Here is Kilowatt Delta 6 Tango Kilo X-Ray, Andy at Curry Mountain. And good morning to Henry and Mike, Chuck, Bob, the whole gang. Good signals here this morning, a little bit of QSB, but no problem at all. The rig today for me, maybe a little bit late for the shootout, but the ARG-13 Bravo, and I'm using the BC348O receiver, known to me as the miracle receiver, since it's completely stock as far as I can tell. And I've been operating it for about 15 years now with a dynamotor in it, and maybe somebody restuffed the caps. That might I'm taking a look at that, but they appear on cursory glance to all be original, so I have no explanation for that. And the antenna is not the main station antenna. It's a 300-foot, 630-meter antenna. As I'm operating the station from where I normally do that kind of stuff. So hopefully it's doing okay. I'm using an electret microphone. Might be a little bit too much from the set, but trying to keep an eye on the audio gain. So there you go. Great to hear everyone, like I said. So over to you, Chuck, and your BC191, K0DWC, KD6TKX.
Okay, alrighty. Well, I'm looking around here, just checking things out. Everything looks relatively stable with this. But anyway, KD6TKX, K0DWC. Okay, Andy. Gentlemen, I appreciate the report. Mike, no, read it. I appreciate the honesty. You said it's rather lousy, and, that's what I'm looking for. So, thank you. Not a problem. So, I just wanted to do a quick statement on this rig. I'm going to use this rig for the aircraft shootout. I did a little bit of digging, and I found out that the BC191 was in fact an aircraft transmitter for a while. It was given the number SCR-178. The only difference was it incorporated a BC-224 receiver in the airplane. So before we went to 28 volts, they were using the 191 in the SCR-178 configuration. But I don't have a BC-224. I'm running the ground version of the, as far as the receiver, with the BC-312 on a dynamo. Ferrari 34F rectifier power supply, as stated, and LS3 speakers. They have all the weather covers are installed on everything, even the LS3. And just trying to get the audio worked out for the event here, I guess coming up maybe in January. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at now. Right now, we're in the SCR-193 station. So anyway, I'll keep it going. And like I said, I appreciate the support you get. Thank you. And send it down to Bill. Good morning to all. N6BCT. This is K0DWC. Go ahead and take it, Bill.
Your turn, Bill.
Right, N6BCT, we got 6MQI. Right, good morning, Bill. And good morning, everybody.
Everybody's sounding good this morning. And Chuck, I'm not going to retract my sock in the mouth comment about the audio, but now you're sounding 100% better. Sounds really good. Good job there on the BC191, Chuck. Sounding really good. And this is Dave. in Livermore, and clear, crisp morning, about 42 degrees, not a cloud in the sky, and it's sopping wet here. I guess it rained all night. I don't know, I slept through it. But we're on the old standard ART-13 on the 75A4 with an amplified D104 microphone. That's the rundown here. So over to Bob, W6AQU, W6MQI.
W6MQI, W6AQU. Very good, Dave. Very good signal this morning. Morning to Bill. BCT or Bot Q4. Chuck, you are sounding better now. Either you got it all put together, but compared to how you started out, big difference now. Morning to Andy. I'm wondering what you're running. You're going to tell us, I guess. And Mike, excellent audio from that Collins rig. Outstanding, actually. Let's see. I've already been talking to Ron, and he's swamping in here with his high-powered crystal set there. And I have not heard Steve yet. I don't know why I missed that. And I think it's Rich in there. So with that, it goes to Ron, NU6F, W6AQU.
Okay, see if I got it. Yep, yes I do. Okay guys, well it's nice not to have the QRM this morning, so that much is great. Or not, I said the QRM, QRN actually. Local interference, it's gone right now, so I'm hearing everybody in the clear. Good deal. And Chuck, yeah, you know, the longer that thing warmed up, it sounded better, and then I tuned a little bit high, about a KC high, and the audio became a lot crisper, but I think that's the one that also, I'm not familiar with them, but I guess if it's like the 375, I guess it's got FM to it. But anyhow, yeah, good deal. Well, it's nice to go ahead and get an old radio that's been sitting there and cross your fingers and hope that, you know, that you don't see any new smoke coming out of anything. Well, good deal. But I wouldn't broadcast which radio you're on because the audio files, you know, around Washoe County or Lyon County here, that there's a couple of 211s sitting there that were sitting there for 10 years. Why, you know, you may want to have Carla, you know, get the shotgun loaded with rock salt, because they may be sneaking in when you guys go into town. So hide those tubes. All right, yeah, Mike, yeah, excellent audio. Signal should be good enough. I'm sure I could hear you with a crystal set. I would be able to hear it. Just down the road. And this morning I'm on the T3. 300 watts, and listening on the R390A, the 160-foot long wire, and yeah, that's about it for this end. Weather-wise, yeah, we had, you know, a gully washer for Washoe County. At least it drizzled half the day, so that's a gully washer for here. And yeah, pea vines all frosted with snow, just a dusting of snow from about halfway up to the top and along the ridge, so it definitely looks like winter. All right, with that, down to Santa Rosa where it's never winter, W6SSP and U6F.
Okay, thank you, Ron. Yeah, never winter, I don't know about that. Depends on your point of view, I suppose. It's upper 30s outside, upper 40s in the shack, so kind of chilly. Not too bad. Anyway, Chuck, yeah, the BC-191 sounds much, much better now. Modulation is still low, but that's typical for those. And congratulations for finding a set of VT4s. I looked for years and years and years and finally gave up and got rid of my BC-191. We're kind of haven't done that, but still don't have the BC, the VT4s. And Ron, very cool on the M37 truck. Real neat on that. First fire. Anyway, conditions are really good. Everybody's sounding fantastic. Henry, and Mike, your 30K5 sounds really good as well. I was on the internet before the net, and on QTH.com somebody has a 30K5 for sale in Zeroland. Yeah, I drove over that a little bit, but a little too far away and a little too expensive. Maybe someday, but not today. Anyway, we'll turn it over to Rich. Got to mention the lineup here. As usual, Collins 7501 receiver, 32V1 transmitter into a dipole, about 30 feet up. V1 up to the microphone, about 85 watts out. So over to Rich, KD6QK, W6SSP.
Well, thank you, Steve. W6SSP, KE6QK. Good morning to you. Yeah, the fans sound really good. The best I've heard. I want to apologize. I couldn't make it last week. I wasn't feeling well. Since the weather turned, my sinuses have been driving me crazy. I can't talk with my nose running. Well, I don't know. I guess I'm too old. Anyway, yeah, the rig here, I'm not in the main cam shack in the backyard. I'm in my garage here at my jury-rigged DX100B, 100 watt. We're cheating on the receiver. The DX100B is on an ELFW, about 15 feet in the air, half wave on this band with a big fat toroid in front of it. Seems to take 100 watts pretty well. And I'm cheating on the receiver. I'm using the brand new IC7300 on an inverted V. And that's, like I told you, it's just a jury rig so I can stay in the garage and I don't have to heat up the shack in the back. The weather here has been the same. Little side note, I've been listening up on 10 meters. Wow, it's doing good up on 10 meters. Everything from Canada to Argentina were coming in the last couple of days. And John N9AMI visited me. I took him to one of my stashes, and talking about older equipment, I had a Mike Echo 165G SWR meter. That's a good starter for a military setup, which I don't have yet. Anyway, I really enjoy coming in the net here with you. Boy, I love to hear the good audio on AM for a change. Oh, the microphone here, I'm using a studio microphone. I'm cheating again. So anyway, good morning to all, and right back, we'll send it right back to Henry there, WA7YBS, and the group, KE6QK.
Okay, Rich, KE6QK, WA7YBS. Okay, Q5 on everybody, and some good potent signals from all, even Bill. Yeah, got the 1.25 inches of rain. I think we had about maybe, well, I don't know, it woke me up 2 or 3 times during the night, so I would say it was probably 1/4 inch. So not too much around here. And Rich, the DX100 sounds good. And studio mic, huh? I wonder what that is. And of course, Steve is doing a good job in here with the early Collins twins. And Ron, the T368, the lightweight. Okay, didn't get what Bob was running, but it sounded like it was probably the T368. And Dave's ART13 is sounding great. And Chuck's BC191 is, I got a preview of it a couple of days ago, and it sounded good to me, but I'm only a mile and a half or two away. So anyway, it did sound better with the second microphone, the handheld. So I don't know. I guess that's what happens being out in the shop. It sounds a little different out here. And Andy, the RT13B sounds good. And of course, Mike always sounds good. 30K5, excellent. So I heard a carrier. Let's see if there's somebody out there that wants to check in here. Get on the last part of round one. Number 10 is open. If you want to check in to the Vintage Military Radio Net, do it now.
Kilowatt 5, Bravo Lima Sugar.
K5BLS, Bravo Lima Sugar. Well, give us the rundown there. You got a good signal in here to Dayton, Nevada. And so let's see who you are. K5BLS, WA7, YBS.
Okay, well, good morning, everybody. Hopefully this sounds okay. I'm not on my normal radio here. I'm in my home QTH here in Fallon, and when I heard Rich in there, his melodious tones on his rig, I had to jump in and say hello. I love listening to all the old gear and how good the audio is on some of the older stuff when it's, of course, when it's aligned properly. Anyhow, name on this end is Jeff, Juliet Echo Fox, and I'm only about maybe 10 miles away from Rich there in Fallon, and running in a non-7000 right now on studio microphone. It's an SL40, and just running barefoot here this morning, so maybe putting out 70 to 100 watt peaks or so. I think there's maybe 25 watts of carrier. Nothing over the top. Didn't want to bust out the amplifier and the tuner here. This is a high side of the band for me on where my wires tuned. So anyway, just like listening along, and man, when I heard Rich in there, I had to say hello. I haven't talked to you in a long time, Rich. Hopefully everything's going well. And anyhow, I'll send it back to net control, but thanks for letting me jump in there this morning and giving me some ear candy to listen to, all you guys, on your great old rigs. K5BLS, back to net control.
Okay, Jeff. K5BLS, WA7YBS here. Yeah, you can check in anytime you want. We have, this is the Vintage Military Radio Net, and of course, military radios are sort of the focus of conversation normally, but we're not strict. You run what you got, and the topic of conversation is usually about military gear of one sort or another. So anyway, welcome, good signal, and another station from Fallon. All right. Okay, let's see if there's anybody else. Number 11 is open. If you want to check in, Vintage Military Radio Net, be number 11. Do it now. Okay, nothing heard. Unless somebody else heard something, I'll break and see if anybody else heard something. I don't know, I hear something in the background in the noise, but it could be something that doesn't sound like a station particularly. So let's see. Let's go ahead and start round two. And let's go up to Mike, W7MS, WA7YBS. Round two, Mike, go ahead.
Well, thank you, Henry. WA7YBS and the great group W7MS. Good morning to Jeff and Fallon. Two stations from the Fallon area. I think, including the state of Nevada, were very well represented this morning. In the end, it's doing great with the 25 watts of carrier, as one would expect into Reno, or specifically Golden Valley, a little bit north of town, still in the county, but being surrounded by the city. Well, I did change receivers because that's one thing I can do to maybe be military correct, and changed it over to the Harris RF 590, which does carry a military designation, but I don't remember. And I could dig out that receiver book from Mr. Osterwald, but and come up with the military designation. But maybe I need to affix a Dymo label to the front of it, so I have it at my fingertips, so to speak. But everybody's doing well. Exceptional morning for propagation, and I would confirm about 1/4 inch of rain in the last 24 hours. So yes, a gully washer by Nevada standards. Andy's doing great on the ART-13B original capacitors. I find that absolutely amazing. But then again, it's the power of Curry Mountain. I think it does special things to special radios. And Chuck's still doing well on the 191 as you do some sea trials, since it's come out of the Ghost Fleet and re-entered service. So great to hear that. Dave, great to hear you. And a message to Dave. You mentioned the other day that you were, and I had offered in the past some used old poles from the GRC 106 amplifier. That'd be more than happy to send you. And it's only a question whether actually the post office might actually deliver it to your address. But I think that'd be a much larger package than an envelope with a couple caps. So they're poles, and they actually came from Dave's stash via second source. They were given to me some time ago, so they're poles, no guarantee. But if you're interested, let me know, and we'll shove them in the mail tomorrow. And Bob, we could hear the puppy in the background. Good morning, puppy. I apologize. I'm bad on puppy names, but got to meet that puppy at Brad's get-together, and it's still matriculating. That dog is doing great. Ron, great for the updates. And I knew there would be some forward momentum on the vehicle project, so congratulations on top dead center. And fortunately, you're not on the highway with all those leaks that was mentioned, and you're not in an aircraft with leaky fuel lines. So that's exceptional. Steve, thanks for the comments. I saw the 30K4 listing on QTH. Well, you can always dream on the price structure on that guy, but I did notice that because it's always gives you a little eye alert. You've got to open that ad up and take a look. So I have seen that. Rich, welcome back. Glad you're feeling better. And the DX100 is just piling in on ground and Skywave, and great on the 10-meter updates. There's some continuity and propagation on 10. Seems to really be shaking. And of course, Jeff's doing quite well. And Henry, thanks for running the show. And what I wonder what else Henry's been up to on projects. But with that, over to Curry Mountain and Andy, KD6TKX, W7MS.
W7MS and the military radio group, KD6TKX here. We're blasting in my great signal. Well, good to hear everyone. Hello to Rich and Jeff. I don't think I've worked you guys before, so nice to make your acquaintance. And my name's Andy here in Curry Mountain, California, about 80 miles southwest of Fresno. My current description. Always a challenge in that area, though. So, Mike, your 30K sounds great. RF590. I'm not really sure what that is. I might know it if I saw it, but very military. Maybe with an RF. You're good to go. Chuck 191 doing great. Bill, good morning to you. Boy, that's a lot of rain you got up there. So, that's more than that's a gully flooded almost. Inch and a half. At least for California. Dave, great to hear you. Looking forward to 160 activation. Ready to go on that. If you want to let me test whenever you get ready. I think it's going to be a while, but cool anyways. Fun band to work. Bob, great to hear you. The last and in here. And you're on 3, so that explains that. Ron, same thing. Blasting in. Enjoyed your video. John's video you made of your station there. Great to see the key. Looks a lot better than I ever remember it. So it's doing great. Steve, good to hear you as well. 32B sounding great. Rich, nice signal on CX100, and Jeff, good copy on your unknown. And Henry, thanks for running the show, blasting in. Not too much new here radio-wise, always something going on, but as some of you guys know, I picked up a motorcycle a while back. I thought I was done with classic motorcycles, but it turns out I was not. So this time around, thanks to good fortune, I got a 51 Vincent Rapide that I've been working on and riding. In fact, last Sunday I did a 300-mile ride, 2 agents, 8 miles, out here in the middle of nowhere, country road, as sort of a competent builder. 72-year-old motorcycle riding around in no cell zone, country roads, and so it just has to work, or you have to be able to fix it. So fortunately nothing went wrong, and had a great ride. One radio, I've been renewing a couple radios, pulling them off the junk file and putting them to work again. One was the Coast Guard radio, Charlie Romeo 123. Picked up some good information from Henry's website, working on that. It's a low-frequency receiver, which ties into the fact that we're active again on 630 meters on 473. And Brian and I have been running our normal tests, and it's frustrating but fun. For some reason, I really don't know why it's fun, but we've had some success. Oh, and I made a random contact, reply to a CQ down there. I think that's the first time that's ever happened. It was a station in, I think, Arizona. Might have been Nevada, I can't remember now, but that was pretty easy to make a random contact there. Answer to a CQ, I almost fell out of the chair. And the CR-123, although seeming to be a modest radio, works excellent. So it's got 2 AF stages, it's a regen, but they did some good work on it. It really does a nice job. So that's been fun there. So, over to Chuck, number 191, RE34. Always wanted one of those. Never been able to drag one home, but I'm not done yet. K0DWC, this is KD6GK.
Okay, Andy, KD6GKS, K0DWC. We've got a really great signal in here, Andy. No problem. No problem with anybody. Mike, Andy, pounding in here. Bill, 5. Dave, Bob, Ron, Steve, Rich, and Jeff just pounding in here. No problem. The BC312 is doing a good job. Picking up a little on the side, but I mean, that's to be expected with that type of receiver, but it's still doing well. I wanted to say hello and welcome to Jeff, King 5, Baker, Love Sale. Very nice signal this morning. It's good to have another guy from Fallon in here. We get the Fallon community in here. And keep getting in here on a regular basis. So looks like you guys are working toward that. And welcome. Like Henry stated, we're here every Saturday. We're here every Sunday morning in the fall and winter at 7:30 in the morning on 3974. So please help yourself and check in. We definitely will appreciate it during that. Henry stated, does that matter if it's rig or an oil rig? Just a general interest in military radio. Anyway, thanks for having us here. Okay, Bob, Tom and Mike, say hi to the puppy for us too. That's a little dog. But anyway, I appreciate the continued signal reports, guys. Thank you. I guess, after 10 years of not running this station, I guess I kind of forgot it does take some time to warm up. But, and the verification there is, it seems to be pretty much stabilized now on the frequency. We're at the beginning, it kind of drifted quite a bit. But anyway, thanks for all the info, guys, and I'll keep it going, and we will send it down to Bill, N6BCT in the group, K0DWC. Go ahead, Bill. got it also. So, what's going on?
All right, N6BCT, W6MQI. Alrighty, Bill. Well, everybody's hanging in there. You kind of faded off a little bit on me there, Chuck, right at the beginning, but you came back up. I was copying it, no problem. And good morning to Jeff from Fallon. I was copying you okay down here in Leavenworth. And, yeah. And how good here. Now that I know it's a dog, a little puppy dog, and I thought I heard something squeaking in the background on your fob, but I wasn't quite sure what it was. I was thinking maybe a dog, but it sounded like a little squeaky chair, but now I know. And let's see, yeah. Mike, I really think I'll run against the bench and work on that GRC 106 amplifier again. Probably that's so. I want to get another amplifier going, so I'm going to take you up on those polls, and we'll see if the U.S. Postal Service is capable of delivering a package. We'll see. So I'll take that if you're willing, and then whatever I don't have, I'll send back to you. And yeah, Andy, 160. I had the wife give me a hand yesterday, and I got the control line hooked up to my remote tuner. I had a little bit of hiccups here and there, but we got it all working. And I got on last night and did some listening. And listening to a round table. I think it was on 1920. And ended up listening or looking up one of the guy's calls he was on. The guy was in Alabama, and he was like full quieting here. The dam was actually pretty quiet last night. And so I transmitted into it for some tests. And I was listening to myself on the SDR, and I was just really loud. Even with 5 watts, I was really loud at the KPH SDR, so I think things are working. I may fiddle with the antenna length some more, play with that. So I'd say probably this week sometime I'll give you a call, and we can do some tests. And it looks like my TCK will go down to 1920. Actually, it'll go down farther. So that's cool. I wanted to be able to use the TCK on 160 as well. What else here? Almost got my SCR 274s running. I have 1 wire to hook up, and I'll be ready for the big dogfight in January. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll probably run the SCR 274s a couple times just to make sure they're all working, but that's going to be my rig for the big dogfight, and that'll be fun. Not much else going on here. I've just been busy getting antennas working and rearranging the shack, and that's about it. So let's see, who's next here? Oh, W6AQU, W6MQI.
Pretty good, thanks, Dave. W6MQI and the Sunday Morning Vintage Military Net. W6 Able Queen Uncle, Montague. Let's see, morning to Jeff. Fallon's coming in great. A comment on the puppy. We have 2 puppies now. There's 2 of them running around. They're both girls. This last puppy came to us. She had been abandoned out here on this country road. And she came into our back door, all skin and bones. A female, about a year old. And just so good to find somebody that would feed her. And so she's starting to get fattened up now. We have an appointment to take her to a doctor on Monday and check her all out. Get a blood test and maybe start her on our Norman Tech stuff. But she and the other dog, both females, really have fun together. Just all over the place and chasing and getting into trouble. And I have an electronic collar that I have to use to call them. We've got a lot of acreage here, and those dogs would go and be a long ways away, but this whistle device seems to work. And after a while here, they come running, chomping up through the sagebrush and whatever. But anyhow, they're eating us out of house and home. We have to go buy more bags of food all the time. So that's the story on the puppy dogs. And yeah, we'll probably be there to Brad's and bring those guys again. All right. I had another comment here on MQI. I saw the picture, very good. And that's why I was asking about the frequency on 160. We run two rates actually on 160. We've got the gates 1G with those A33As, and we do have a full-size 160-meter loop. We'll run into you up there. We have a lot of activity on 45 with the guys up north, and of course 25. In the past, I have worked Andy on 160, as well as 75 up here. All right. Comments, Chuck? Yes, your audio is very good now, actually. So, good on that. What other comments do I have? SST, loud and clear here, of course. And, Rich, I kind of wonder about you. What's your rigs that you're running and what's happening down there? What you would elaborate on that? What transmitter are you using? I think you're cheating this morning. Okay. Right. And U6F, your turn. W6 Able, Queen Uncle.
Okay, see if I got it. Yeah, we're making RF, reflected, sounds good. Oh, I can only dream of 160. Yeah. For the HOA, it would really be hard to hide the 160 meter antenna. Actually, probably not. If I made a double helix loop instead of the 80-40 meter loop, ran a pair of loops, why, I could probably do it, but yeah, no go. And that noise is way too high, so I will just listen to the reports. But that's kind of cool, Dave. You were hearing that kind of signal levels on 160, and the fact that yeah, your antenna's getting out. Let me go ahead and change the loading here a bit. It's kind of like Henry's tweak and peak. Well, yeah, going down the line, let's see. Henry, good deal on, yeah, big rig as usual. They're lots of rain in Dayton, but I know you keep your eye on the rain a lot closer with the creek down below. And Mike, okay, the garage that never gives up. You know, I'm missing Tom OPE last week, and just with a quick check-in, and this week he's AWOL. Maybe someone's got an update on what's going on with Tom. And but yeah, the 106 poles. Yeah, I can just see Dave was saying, yeah, I'm past that chapter. I'm off to other projects. You hate to go back to resurrect another one. And Chuck, yep, the warmer it gets, the better it sounds. So there you go. But I still would go ahead and guard those tubes. Bill, yeah, a couple of times I could copy really well on. For some reason, it sounds like the BC348. You sound a little bit better on that, a little bit wider bandwidth on that. And let's see, Bob on the puppies. Well, that's pretty cool on having a good stray that showed up, one that gets along with the other dog. My dog story this summer was they're on floors in the Azores. Why? I pretty much have seen and done everything, and so, but I was surprised in the last 25 years there. But then I was driving into town from the house, and I see this dog at one of the roundabouts, and caught it out of the corner of my eye. Holy cow! This dog looks just like my old dog I had up there by Gold Run when I lived up that way. Had him for like 17 years. And Slider was a stray. Somebody dropped off. He was in the barn with the donkeys one day when I got up in the morning. It was frosty morning. Great dog. Gosh. But anyhow, it was like a mixed border collie, cocker spaniel, but very distinctive markings. And so here I'm driving around into town, and I catch out a corner of my, holy cow, that's Slider. I mean, I really thought I was seeing things. I had to turn around and come back, and nope, dog was gone. And I thought, okay. A couple of weeks later, I saw him again. I got out of the car, and I walked over towards it, and it took off slowly and walked up behind somebody's house. And I had to ask a neighbor, what's with that dog? And they gave me the story, and oh, yeah, it belongs to Carlos. He's the radiologist down at the clinic. And anyhow, I finally met up with him, and I showed him the pictures, and meanwhile, our brother Larry and my niece, they both saw the pictures when I sent them, and they said, oh, you aren't kidding. That is a clone to your dog. But, yeah, so I heard the story on the dog, but that was my stray dog story that it just came up with. 10 meters, yeah, 10 meters has been great. I've haven't been on the air that much, and of course it's almost always CW, but 40 meters has my normal hangout, hasn't been much, and but yeah, 15 to 10, it's been really, really fun. Nice and quiet, signals just pop out. Steve, yeah, the M37 report, yeah, Larry was really discouraged by the time it was one thing after another with ignition. Ended up pulling the distributor, just pretty much took everything that had to do with ignition out, and started from scratch. But still no idea exactly where the timing is. We're within 10 degrees. That's all I can say. But anyhow, yeah, at least he was tickled pink to see that everything turns over and no strange noises and nothing. Yeah, like you say, Mike. It's a toxic waste. It's a toxic waste spill on wheels. So it'll be a while before we put much gas in that tank. That's for sure. All right, and let's see. And it's great to hear the Fallon twins with Rich and Jeff. Good deal. Oh yeah, see, and Andy on the Rapide. Like I told you, my friend Rich Culbertson sent me that photo of from the Coalinga newspaper. DMV surprised by a classic motorcycle that showed up. Didn't mention your name, but the minute I saw the Rapide, and I thought, oh, there we go. I can see right now, Andy got another motorcycle. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Like I say, the only ones I'm familiar with is the Vincent Black Shadows that Dave Malloy used to work on there in Colfax. But and congrats on the round trip. No missing parts, nothing broken. That's great. You know, you always kind of cross your fingers when you have a classic motorcycle like that. But good deal. Expect to hear a motorcycle mobile with one of your spy sets one of these days. Okay, with that, over to Santa Rosa, W6SSP and U6F.
Okay, Ron, thank you very much. Boy, SWR is all over the place today. If the rain gets into the coax or something, it burns off after a while. There we go. I think that's better. I hope it's better. Anyway, I like your comment, Ron, about the rolling toxic waste dump. Some of my race cars are kind of the same way. They leave an oil slick behind them, but the big concern is when we don't leave an oil slick behind them, we leave hot oil. And anyway, I want to comment on the wide range of it's pretty impressive. I'm so impressed with you guys having all this cool stuff on the air. It's not easy. People that aren't familiar with anchors don't realize what it takes to find them, find out what to store them, and keep them on the air. It's quite a bit of work. And Dave, very good on the 160-meter update. I was folks in Alabama, and anyway, it's pretty neat. Around here, I can't even get on 80 meters. The North Arkansas has one, so I'm not even tried within 60. Well, I might do that someday. We'll see how it goes. So I will pass it over to Rich. Rich, I think I screwed up your call. Very, very good here. So, W6,
Yeah, W6 SSP. Yeah, Steve, it's Kilo Echo 6 Quebec Kilo KE6QK. And to Bob, your question there, I guess you missed it. I restored a DX100B. I don't know, it's about 1959 through 1961. I can't tell from the heat kit numbers. But running about 200 milliamps at 850 volts. You do the math, we're around 100 watts. And you know that rig is modulated by 1625. I call it an AM transmitter with a guitar amplifier for modulation. That basically is what it is. With 12AX7 preamps of the old days. And they're still used in guitar amplifiers. They love them. Anyway, that's the rundown. The antenna, I could call it a VLA, very low antenna. It was an experiment here in the garage. It's an EF8W, end-fed half-wave, about 15 feet in the air. When I put it up, I said, this probably won't work, but it actually works pretty good. It's very interesting. Anyway, in the garage here, I had the IC7300 on a dipole, so I just used that as a receiver because I didn't want to put in an antenna switch here. The big rig is in the back. The heat kit 1kW rig. In the winter, it's so cold back there. I figured I'd throw something in the garage, use it, during the winter. An interesting note, I haven't been on ancient modulation for many, many years, probably 50 years plus. And the F1 layer has changed since we started this network. It's changed for the signals from California, Kernville and Santa Rosa. I'm getting some QSB with selective baiting. I haven't heard selective baiting in years. That's when your phase changes as it refracts off the F1 layer. Kind of muffles the audio, but the signals are generally hanging in there. Comment on 160, I have a dipole in the back of 160 that's tuned around 1900, though I haven't been on it. At all. I checked it out during the day. The numbers are good. It probably works okay. And comments to Jeff. Yeah, the 9.7 is really a disappointment, Jeff. I haven't been able to fix that ever since T-Mobile went up on the top and put all their 5G and 4 transmitters around it. I have no sensitivity on it. And at my age, I can't climb the 125-foot tower anymore, so I have to depend on commercial riggers. And the kind of money they want kind of stopped me in my tracks. However, I have a commercial rigger, OSHA certified from Reno, wants a little extra money for Christmas. And he said he would come down and re-rig the tower. We have to cut over the 4-bay antenna that I put up with you years ago. We're going to cut that over. There's a 4-bay UHF collinear up there, like about 2 feet away from the other one, ready to cut. And we're going to move the VHF antenna further in on the top of the tower and get away from T-Mobile with new hardline. I commandeered Sprint's hardline. It's 2-inch. I'm going to superflex to the new VHF antenna, and maybe we can get the sensitivity up again. If not, I'm going to call you in sick. I don't know what happened to it other than T-Mobile screwing around with the repeater antenna. Anyway, that's all I have, guys. It's really a privilege to come in. I love to hear about the old military equipment. I have some old equipment here, but I actually went on the internet to see if I could buy some of that stuff, but the prices just shocked me. There's other priorities to do for old equipment that has to be rebuilt for over $1,000. It's kind of a wow. That's a big deal. I've got a lot of other things going on here. Oh, and on the microphone, I was asked, this is a Sennheiser microphone was used for audio production for backing up bands, orchestras, and PA. And it was on there from 2 weeks ago, so I just left it on there. I didn't switch back to the 1960s microphone. So that's about it. And over to you, Jeff. Comment. Oh, by the way, Eagle Ridge is running good. I've been on your old repeater there. Works very good as usual. You're an expert at that. K5BLS and group, KE6UK. Thank you.
Okay. KE6QK and the group. K5BLS, also from Fallon. A little bit more awake here. And had my coffee in hand at the time I checked in. So, anyhow, sorry to hear about the 9.7 woes and that it's not doing so well. Perhaps a bandpass filter didn't have the receiver, the help of front. Some of that. Wasn't aware that the 5G was throwing much noise, but everything else is these days. You go down to the local gas station and you buy a new Walmart to charge your cell phone because it's right there at the cash register. And you plug it in your house and then suddenly you can't hear anything on HF. So there's that. No regulation. I wonder what the FCC is doing these days, especially since they want $35 to renew my license. Just don't feel like I'm getting the value these days from the federal agency that we used to. Guarding the bands and really policing more than anything else. So great hearing everybody this morning. Fantastic audio from a lot of the older equipment. I love hearing the old D104s. I actually just refurbished an FT847, which is like a 1997-ish radio from Yaesu. It was their first Shack in a Box. It was really touted as the satellite radio because it would Doppler track the satellites as they came over. But it does HF all the way through UHF all mode, and I was able to buy one at a reasonable price and get it back on frequency and putting out proper power, and everything's looking good. The lights are bright again, and anyway, managed to actually find a filter for that for the transmit side of it that allowed it to go out to. Sorry about that. Foot slipped off the button. Allowed it to go out to about 3.5K. So I spent a lot of time on ESSB and paying attention to transmit audio and playing around with the rack gear and things like that. So in any case, I'm usually on 40 meters down around 71.99 to 72.22-ish area. So in the evenings, that's typically where you'll find me hanging out. 75 meters, don't spend a lot of time on it these days. And yeah, a lot of QSB. And I'm really surprised the band is holding up this late in the morning. Usually it fades off pretty quickly, but I think that's part of what the QSB is telling us. It's on its way out for the day. Hopefully the contesting will be done soon. Drove me nuts. I finally shut the radio off about 8 o'clock last night. I'd had enough. So trying to fit in between everybody was just pointless. In any case, perhaps we will catch you all again sometime soon. I'll try to write it down here on the station log that at 7:30 or so on let's see, 3.7 is it 3.74 or 3.75? I'm a little confused here. I've been trying to track people's frequency as I've been listening here. So in any case, hopefully I'm not the one off frequency, but again, good to hear everybody. And we'll say 73s for right now. I'll listen out, and everybody have a great remainder of your weekend. K5BLS from Fallon, Nevada.
Okay, Jeff. K5BLS, WA7YBS. Well, Jeff, we're supposed to be on 3.974, but I noticed that we're ranging anywhere. I'm on 7.5, and I think Rich was up on 7.6, so we're just in the ballpark. 3.974 is what we shoot for, and go from there. So anyway, very good. Let's see. Wanted to mention that RC-123, the Coast Guard set made by that Andy had restored. That was made by Federal Telegraph Company for Mackie Radio, and they are simple. I think it's 6 tubes, if I remember right, AC/DC, and of course you can run it on batteries if you want. And it's surprising. That circuit kicked around for a long time, and all of those Mackies that have that look are basically the same circuit. I also have, besides the FT, or besides the RC-123, I have the Mackie 3000A1, I think it is, and it's a decade later, and it's the same circuit. So high resistance to change. They're a business plan for many radio manufacturers. And so let's see. Let's go ahead and do the 73 round, because it is, as Jeff mentioned, the band is changing. So 73 round up, and the only one that's signed out, that I have officially signed out, is Jeff, K5BLS. So let's start with Mike, W7MS, 73 round. Mike, go ahead.
Well, thank you, Henry. I think I'm somewhere at close to 3974. And maybe 50 hertz or so, or 50 cycles for the to be officially politically correct for this operation. W7MS here. Yeah, good reception from all. We're not suffering any descents issues on 3974 to this point. Its conditions are still quite well. Right on Dave's comments on the GRC 106 will do. And congratulations to Andy, who's slinging solder and working at the bench, going back to some old friends there in the pile of stuff. Great for the updates from Bob on the dogs. That's the ultimate rescue dog, no doubt, and truly a rescue dog. So congratulations on that. Looking forward to meeting the twins in June. Who knows? You may have a threesome or a foursome by then, depending on once word gets out on amongst the community and where to do a dog drop off. Do it in front of Bob's property there. And great on Jeff's comments on site ownership, but then again, 9-7 is a non-paying member there, so I would acquiesce to any of the customers that are actually paying for tower space. That's a priority. And comments also on Dave. Yeah, I'm going to get some RCA gear that was liaison radios on for January. Still waiting for our net controls to fine-tune the parameters of the get-together in January for the aircraft devices, but probably going to resurrect the RCA AT15A and pair that up with an RCA VR20 receiver, primarily because I was monitoring eBay and I picked up the AT15A at one of the local swap meets a few years ago for $5, but I noticed one closed on eBay for close to $200 with shipping and sales tax. So it got me motivated that maybe my $5 transmitter needs to be resurrected and paired up with an AVR20 for January. So that's the next one on the restoration schedule. And I understand Rich's comments on the pricing on eBay, but local swap meets, and I would attend Brad's get-together in June. Who knows? Maybe I'll actually bring a few eye-teasers out there for the venue in the not quite under Henry's under $5 category, but they'll be much more reasonable than some of the stuff that shows up on eBay. But 7-3s from Reno, and I'm sure I've missed some comments, but then again, it is the 73 round, and we don't want to time out 75. So over to you, Andy. KD6 TKX W7MS.
W7MS, all the way along. I really enjoyed it. Thank you all. Full races up there. Nice to meet Rich and Jeff this time. Nice to meet you guys on the net. And Henry, thanks again for doing the job. Appreciate it. 73 is from Curry Mountain, everybody. And it's open Jeff on the 191. Really cool. Well done. K0GWC. This is KD6TKX. 73s, everybody.
W6BCT, W6MQI. Alrighty, Bill. 3. Yep. Same off in the distance. So I'll make it quick here. 73, everybody. And good net today. Over to Bob, W6AQU.
Very good, Dave.
W6MQI.
W6A Queen Uncle. Well, actually, all stations still holding up here. Everybody's holding at Q5 or better. Okay, Jeff. Somebody said earlier that there were 2 stations Fallon. But the only other station I know is the fellow that used to hang out on 40 meters. That I'd forgotten his phone out. All right, so much for that. Any other comments on Andy? I'll listen on those frequencies. Who knows? I think we talked before on 160. But I haven't stayed late at night, so I don't know about what kind of DX is coming in on that. So with that 7.3 from Montague, over to Ron, NU6F, W6A Queen Uncle.
Okay, good deal, guys. I'm back down to tune position. Not sure if I got something going with the antenna or not, but I'm going to run it down in low power. All right, good deal, guys. Yeah, I'm losing things here, but I got, I think the antenna receive switch, TR antenna switch in the T3 is going flaky. I got to click the mic every now and then for it to go back to receive. All right, guys. 73 is good net, and with that, over to Steve, W6SSP, NU6F. Listening up.
Yeah, the band is fading, so that's people down. Bob, I wanted to comment, by the way, straight on. Thank you for doing that. One of the things they did quite a bit now for many, many years, not just cats and dogs, but squirrels, and we've got a possum now. Kind of neat, kind of rewarding to do that. And there are a lot of stray and abandoned animals out there that need our help. And doing that quickly nowadays is very important. Not everybody does. Let's see, I'll take 73 and we'll send it over to Rich. Rich, I think I got the call correctly this time. KE6QK, W6SSP 73.
Well, W6SSP in the group KE6QK. Okay, well, thank you very much. The band is going away. I could hear Billy in there, but Half Moon Bay kind of went away. I couldn't copy him. I could hear him in there. I couldn't copy him. So the band is gone defunct now. We'll have to wait till next Sunday to get this going again. Enjoy it very much, gentlemen. We will try to get here next Sunday and say hello to everyone again. By the way, yeah, you were right. I looked at the digital meter. I don't look at it while I'm all the time, and yeah, I was on 3976, and the DX100 kind of moved up in frequency. We moved it down to, I'm reading 3974.14 on the digital right now. We moved it down about 2K. I couldn't believe that. 73, and we'll all look for you next week. WA7YBS, KE6QK. Wrap it up, Henry.
Okay, Rich. KE6QK, WA7YBS. Well, okay, everybody. Thanks for participating in the Vintage Military Radio Net. Your participation keeps the net going and growing. We'll have a few more updates and possibly. Next week, I promised we'll have a date, a firm date, for the airborne radio dogfight. It will be in January, and we'll have some more parameters on and some suggestions on what you could use. I know Mike is all prepared already, and so's Chuck. And I'm going to try to be running the RU16 GF11 combo. So it's time to dig out that really stuff you don't hear too often. So it'll be the airborne radio dogfight in January. So with that, 73 all around. Everybody have a good week coming up. And that's WA7YBS will be closing the net and signing off. 73 all.